Coming up this week on the Just Lifestyle Show, Gary's here. First show of 2024. We've got lots to talk about. We've got some predictions and stuff coming up in the year, and some what we're going to see from Microsoft in terms of devices, maybe AI and Windows. We'll be talking about mixed reality and Windows mixed reality. I've got some tech news and lots more, so let's get straight to Gary. Gary, good evening and welcome to 2024.
Well, very windy 2024 where I am, as you can see from my windswept look. Walked out to my little recording studio from home. It's only literally a 10-second walk, but I nearly got knocked off my feet doing it. So it's definitely windy.
Yeah, it certainly has. It's been wet and windy all over the sort of festive period.
Yes, indeed. But that hasn't stopped us enjoying it, has it?
No, I did manage to take down my external lights down yesterday. So what in the dry? So they're all dry when I brought them back in, which is quite good. I'm not sure about how my mate Dave's getting on taking his down, because I think that's going to take him about 6 months, and then he starts putting them back up again.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people who do that stuff don't actually bother taking them down, do they? They just disconnect them and leave them in situ. I know one around here that does that.
But he's got those whole, like, the pipes that he got thing and the whole fake tree thing, so he's got to take
so it's probably have to take those bits down.
Yeah, so I think he's going to find some he's going to get taking them down, but in this kind of weather, the last thing you want to do is up a ladder taking lights down.
No, definitely not want to be up ladders. No. Around here you would not be up a ladder, because you'd certainly be down a ladder very quickly.
So I managed to get mine down, although you're not really supposed to take them down until the 6th of January, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think that's the official 12th night.
12th night, yeah.
But I can't face go back to work and having all the stuff out, so I took them down, so all packed away now. I did the twinkly lights were great. They were nice and reliable, no issues. With the scheduling or the tiring or everything worked just fine on that, so that they were really good now. So I did like those. So I've packed them away now, but I'm really impressed with the twinkly lights, and especially if you want something that's easy to set up and to get started with it. You don't have to do any programming stuff, but you can sort of play with it and do the patterns and things like that. So
I have to say, I was really impressed. I saw it displayed locally and ended up talking to the people who set it up. It looked absolutely amazing, and it was actually just 4 sets of Govee curtain lights.
Right.
So incredibly simple to set up, way simpler than any of the other projects I've seen doing it, but spectacularly good. Partly because they've done a really good animation on it, but you can do your own stuff basically with these. So they basically had the 4 windows, and they were telling the Christmas story basically in the 4 windows. It was really Santa loading his presents in one window, then getting on the sleigh, and then going up chimney, then coming down to the bottom window, and then delivering the presents. And it was just a continuous loop, but it was really clever, because obviously that you can do sort of like pixel 8-bit images effectively on those. I mean, the definition wasn't 100% brilliant on it, but it was good enough for what they were trying to do. And I mean, admittedly, it was quite costly, because those Govee curtains aren't cheap for the right size ones of the windows they had. I think they said they were about 80 quid a curtain. But it definitely worked, and they can use them all year, because they can use them they use them for Halloween and
that's
all
true,
sorts of things.
There's some good solutions out there in the.
He was saying he actually uses it for home security system as well. If someone comes up the drive when it's armed late at night, the window turns into a set of barking dogs.
That's quite good. Because I got my so when I get the camera, when someone triggers the front door camera out of ours, it turns on the hue lights in the living room and the conservatory. But that's quite good. I could use that, one of those twinkle light panels and do that. But that's quite a good idea. So there are some good options out there. So it's the start of the year, so we've got obviously no major news, but there are a few things I wanted to talk about. We've got some rumors about future Microsoft devices. We've got another technology that's going on the shelf of doom history, or whatever you want to call it. In fact, I've already put mine in the loft. And I've got another sound collection I want to mention as well. And we've got CES coming up.
We have, yeah.
It's been quiet actually on the CES front. It all sort of kicks off this week, doesn't it? Towards the end of this week. And my number one job for this year is to sort out my home Wi-Fi. So my the D-Link Extreme one or whatever I've got, I've had it for. Well, it feels relatively new, but I'm guessing it's about 6 or 7 years old now. So since I moved it, because the fiber changed where the fiber came in, it's further away from everything now. But it started to getting more reliable. But what I found is devices just drop off it, especially the Sonos ones, but not just that. Other devices, they drop off it, and sometimes you have to reboot it to bring it back on. So I've got the Sky broadband, which is a Wi-Fi in itself, but I've actually kept that separate because I don't want to use that as Wi-Fi. I want to use a better. So I am going to look at getting some new Wi-Fi. In fact, what the D-Link did, it's the first time it's ever done this. I had to reboot it on New Year's Eve, and it actually factory reset itself.
All right.
Which is perhaps the backup batteries getting a bit low in there or something like that. But it meant sort of all the devices. So but look at that. I mean, I just set it back up with the same SSID and password. So all the devices then pop back up on it again. But yeah, I am going to look at some new Wi-Fi. So I think I'm going to have to go for mesh to try and get the full home coverage. So I think we talked about it last time. Did you mention that the Amazon have got a mesh one?
Yeah, so I use the Eero 6E, the Evo Plus 6 Pro 6E versions, which works really well out to here. So it's got very good coverage through walls, and because it's 6E, it's got the back link, which is on a different frequency to the rest of the network, and that works exceptionally well. I used to use TP-Link's decos, and I still use those for some bits. And out to the garage is using a TP-Link deco, and they work pretty well as well. On SIP, but they're 6, not 6E, and you can tell the difference on if you've got a lot of interference, which I have from lots of electrical devices that cause problems. Actually, may not be an issue for you, but it's certainly me. They're cheaper. The Eeros are expensive for what they are, and a bit more locked down. You lose some of the flexibility with the Eeros that you can do on the TP-Links, but you can still do a lot with them. It's just things like you're limited to the IP address range you can use. So if you want to use a specific IP address range, you'll really struggle to do that on the Eeros, unless it happens to be one of the ones they support. Whereas TP-Link will let you do virtually anything. But there's a lot of mesh stuff out there. Links develops are supposed to be really good but expensive. So there's some good stuff about, but certainly the Eeros have been working really well for me. Speed out here is very good.
I think that's what I was going to look at, but I just said, do I need? Will I get away with one, or will I need two, or is that something you're going to really find once you get in place?
You really can only find. I mean, one of the great things about the Eeros is if you've got any of the modern echoes. So the actual the I think it's Gen 3 and above echoes. I might be wrong on that. It might be Gen 4. They actually act as extenders for the Eero.
Right.
So they have Eero inside is the tag for them, and that they actually work pretty well as a sort of little reasonable extender. So if you've got one, I mean, one Eero would probably do my house. It just wouldn't quite get out here. So I've actually got 3 Eeros covering the house and here. So basically one Eero which covers the house, and then one which is close to this building in the house, and then the one in this building to pick up the one from in the house, and that works really reasonably well. And at some point I will replace the one in the garage with another Eero as well. It's just they're really expensive. That's why I haven't done it so far.
Yeah, because I was just looking on Amazon site, so it's like £109 for one, and for 2 it's £199.
Is that which model's that? Because that seems
6.
That's a 6, not 6E. Yeah, the 6Es are more expensive.
So it's £99 for an extender. Oh, one router, one extender, that's £179.
Yeah, but if you start looking for the 6E versions rather than 6 versions, you're talking, well, a pack of 3 is £549.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get one.
Yeah, so it becomes a lot more expensive to do that. So I mean, but they're good. I mean, that's what I would say. I mean, you probably would get away with Wi-Fi 6, to be honest.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, or even Wi-Fi 5. I mean, it depends what speed's your broadband.
150 meg.
Yeah, so you don't need six, or even you don't even need six really. 5 would do you.
Yeah.
So you could get the old Wi-Fi 5 ones, which are actually pretty cheap on eBay at the moment.
Yeah. So I could go through the 5 and the 5 extender. Oh yeah, I can see. In fact, on Amazon, the 69 quid.
Yeah, they're a lot cheaper anyway, and they'll work pretty well. Or if you for something like that, you could definitely go with a TP-Link.
Yeah.
So but yeah. So
I'll have to. I think I'll probably get one. So a 2-pack for the 5 is 129 quid.
Yeah. Which isn't bad. I mean, you compare that with, so your equivalent on a TP-Link is something like a Deco X50, X55 maybe, and they're around about that price as well.
Yeah. So it's just whether I go for 1 6 or 2 5s.
Yes. I think for you a 5 would probably do because it's performance. I mean,
yeah,
it's. I mean, get a 3-pack for £189 at the moment. So,
yeah, I probably maybe I'll go with the 5 because I don't. It's just the constant connection, and I'm.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty rock solid. And the other great thing about the Eero is if as long as you pay for because you have to pay, there's a subscription you have to pay to be able to use some of the services. But one of the services you get on the subscription is the ability to use backup networks. So if you've got a network on your phone or something like that, you can actually switch the whole house over to using that temporarily if your broadband drops.
Yeah,
which is quite nice.
Yeah,
I mean, if you really wanted to go the whole hog, you could go Eero Max 7. It only cost you £1,149 with 2. And I don't see any point in anybody going for a 7 Wi-Fi 7 at the moment for home use. Business use, yeah. Home use, no.
Well, I think I might get one of those 2 packs of 5s and just have one next to the router, and then put one say up here, and that will probably do the whole house then.
Yeah, probably would. I mean, the 5 goes through walls pretty well as well, so that's the other advantage of it.
Yeah.
They're pretty good at telling you how many square meters they can cover.
Yeah, you can do quite well, but I think this. Yeah, I think the router's just. I think it's just dying as well. The other one. Yes. So yeah, I think I'll get one of those and give it a try.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds a plan.
Yeah. So maybe at CES we'll hear about some new technology. I've not heard of anything else. Of course, we don't get sort of the Microsofts and all those kind of the consumer stuff all turning up at CES like they used to do. I don't even know what the show looks like post COVID anymore. Whether it's still the same giant show. I think it was still quite a big show in the last few years post COVID.
It did seem to be. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly what people said last year. I mean, you've got all the car companies turning up now, so at least
that's it. Yeah,
Huawei and Apple and Xiaomi or Xiaomi coming up with their vehicles and their test vehicles and things. So yeah, I think it's there must be some square footage for that sort of stuff.
Yeah. In fact, I did see something. I was going to ask you about. Was it BYD? Yes, it was BYD, isn't it? It was the Chinese car company, isn't it?
Build your dreams.
It's going to overtake Tesla's. It was on BBC News. So yeah, BYD sold more electric vehicle than Tesla in the last 3 months of 2023.
Yeah, and they dominate their home market, and they're becoming quite good at it. I mean, they have some great cars. That's fair enough. And their batteries, BYD batteries, are some of the better batteries out there. But Tesla are starting to use their batteries, so they're really it's interesting in some of the patents they have going forward.
Yeah, I suppose like you see, it's all about the batteries.
It was all about the batteries, yeah. As we talked about at length last week,
Yeah,
the week before last,
yeah,
actually. Yeah,
yeah. I think I guess we're going to have more of that. So we'll probably hear we'll probably hear about that at CES. Like you said, it's becoming a bit of a car show now. I mean,
yeah,
I was there one year when Audi was the first, or one of the first to really make a big splash. Ford always had quite a good splash, but Audi were there one year, and it was kind of, oh look, Audi have turned up. But yeah, it seems all the car companies go now.
yeah. It's well, certainly technology car companies do. But if you
Yeah,
think about it, a lot of the modern car manufacturers are consumer electronic companies. I mean, Xiaomi, for example, is one,
yeah,
or Xiaomi, depending how you want to pronounce it. Um, they are very much a consumer electronics. They just do every form of consumer electronics, but they are starting to really penetrate the Chinese EV market now, the home market,
yeah.
and their car looks really impressive. So get that to the UK. UK will be interesting because they tend to undercut people on price quite dramatically. So
Yeah.
um,
Well, we'll probably get the CS news. I think the press event will be Friday, something like
yes,
that. I think
Friday,
it's
yeah,
usually this time, isn't it? Yeah, that.
yeah,
But we won't see anything from the likes of Microsoft or anything like computer tech companies as much as maybe or Google or anything like that. They have for a long
yeah.
time now. They've had their own events.
Yeah, and we still
Um,
still
we've
see a
got
lot of smart home stuff. So that'll be the interesting thing for
yes,
me. There's an awful lot of smart home stuff comes out of it still.
yeah. Yeah, it might whether Amazon will have anything there, whether they do their own events now. Of course, Microsoft have got their own events that they run, but we are starting to hear some rumours of some Surface devices coming later this year from Microsoft. Rumours of Surface Pro 10, Surface Laptop 6 that are going to come in Intel and ARM versions, which is and I think it's going to be the first time they've offered both versions. I think it was Windows Central reported this that they're potentially going to have the 14th gen Intel and the Qualcomm X chips on those devices, offering both. Yeah, and these are going to have some kind of NPU neural processing for AI, and they're going to be AI specific or designed for AI. These versions, these
Yeah.
laptops and tablets, the laptop 6 is going to have a bit of updated look and feel because I don't think they really changed the laptop. The Surface laptop pretty much is the same design now as it was right at the beginning. So I think we're going to see new maybe a new updated look to the laptop 6 and some new ports and things like that. But of course, it's going to have they're saying as well that might be a co-pilot button, which of course Microsoft are going to do that. That's going to but the Surface Pro 10 might be pretty much the same device, but again, it's going to have the AI. So I'm not quite sure what they're going to put in. What's this? A neural processor going to bring to Windows that's going to make it a difference?
I really can't see what they can do with it, to be honest. I mean, yeah, I can see a lot of machine language learning type approaches of having that processor, but for Windows, I'm really not sure what use it could be made of it, unless it's going to do something like real time image processing or something. That could
Yeah,
possibly be doing it, and sort of I don't know, facial recognition. I honestly can't think of what you could actually make. What benefit it brings to Windows? Other things, yes. Other things, yes. I mean,
yeah,
it's like I don't really see the benefit of Copilot in the Windows at the moment. Well, certainly not the Copilot we've got. Whether future stuff will come along and make it actually more useful. I mean, certainly the stuff in the Office is starting to get more useful.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what Microsoft bring, but it would be good to see because I don't think they had an update. I think for last year when so the Surface Laptop 2 Laptop Studio got updated and we had the Surface Go and everything else. So so it's going to be interesting what they look like when they come out. It certainly are nice form factors. I still like the Surface Pro. Some like I said, but Surface Pro 9, which he loves. But it'd be interesting what comes with Windows for this with this AI experiences, and whether that's going to be Windows 11 with some AI added, or it's going to be Windows 12. Because I think there was some reports about, I think we touched on this last time we were on, with of effectively Microsoft causing a landfill because the end of life of Windows 10.
Yeah.
And these devices aren't capable of running Windows 11, and some environmental watchdogs is kind of saying, well, Microsoft need to extend that Windows 10 support period to avoid that, because these are perfectly working machines, and they just need the support. So I don't know whether Microsoft will cave to pressure on that. I don't think. I know Richard always wanted them to drop the hardware minimum spec so that Windows 10 users could go to Windows 11, but I can't see them changing that policy. So it's going to be interesting to see whether they bow to pressure or whether they just carry on, introduce a new version of Windows with another set of hardware requirements. We'll have to see. But what we do know that for the next version of Windows won't be happening, won't be included, is Windows Mixed Reality, because Microsoft, the 21st of December, I spotted this anyway, announced they have a website where they have they have features that have been removed or deprecated in future versions of Windows. In fact, I'll share this one out. And yeah, it's quite a. It's not a marketing thing. It's a technical page. Let's share this out. Okay, so this is the deprecated features for Windows client. So and it's got a handy RSS link as well if you wanted to subscribe to that. But one of the top things mentioned there, because this is the thing they've just added, this list here, these latest ones here are just the ones they had in December. Windows Mixed Reality is deprecated and will be removed in future release of Windows. This deprecation includes the Mixed Reality Portal app and the Mixed Reality for Steam VR and Steam VR Beta. So the way I understand this is, first of all, the Cliff House will be gone. You need the Mixed Reality Portal app to set the controllers up and the hardware. And if you want to use Steam, you have to use the Mixed Reality for Steam. So I think this means you just don't have anything on it. The one exception may be that there are a couple of games I found that you don't have to launch Steam. You can actually, I think it was Project Cars 3, you can pick, it's on, once you've defined the game up and you choose the VR, you can choose your headset, and I can't remember what the exact listing was, but you could go to it that way. So maybe that would still work. But this is not going to be included. Now, what it doesn't say is when that is. It just says future release. So that could be 24H2, whatever they call it, of Windows 11, or it could be Windows 12, or it could be 2025. We don't know, but it's definitely not going to be included. But it does mean the headsets and controllers will be obsolete, but I don't think that there's been any new headsets since 2019 now, is there something like that?
It's a while back now.
Yeah. Obviously HoloLens is gone. Well, certainly for the consumer side of it, Microsoft are no interest in consumer VR, and all that team has been disbanded. We knew some of the people on the mixed reality team, didn't we, at Microsoft, and so they've gone on to do different projects outside of Microsoft as well. So yeah, the whole thing's gone, and it's another consumer tech that Microsoft are abandoning. But in this case, I think unlike other technologies like Windows Media Center or something like that, or even the band, there aren't really a massive. There hasn't been a huge outcry about this one, really, has there? Because I think most people could see the writings on the wall for some time. If you're really into your VR and headsets, you've probably got one of the newer ones anyway that work with Steam, the Rift or whatever. If you're still like me, still using your Windows Mixed Reality ones, you're not. I'm not that frequent of a user that I want to get. I have thought about getting one of the Oculus ones, but I don't use my Windows Mixed Reality ones enough for me to think, I really need one of the later ones, because I just know I'm not going to get the use out of it, which is a shame because it had so much promise when it first came out. That whole Cliff House experience, that that environment, it just it felt like you were into the next paradigm for computing. That 3D environment where you could customize your home and you could walk around it and launch applications and have giant. You could put an edge screen there, an edge screen. It just felt like it was the next thing.
Yeah,
but it never quite delivered on it because it's all these different input methods, everything. So keyboard and mouse still seem to work the best. And of course, when you're using those controllers, you can't use a keyboard and mouse. And you've got a headset on, occlusive headset. You can't use touch type keyboard. So it never quite had that shit. But I think it's a shame. But they've kind of, I don't think particularly Facebook's or Meta's, the Quest and stuff isn't doing brilliantly either, is it? So. I don't think it's that much of a shame, but I'll miss it. But I haven't powered mine up for probably 6 months, maybe more, maybe a year. So I can't really.
You can't really complain, can we? Because none of us have been really watching it. So
I mean, Apple obviously coming out with their kit, so things might change again. But even if Microsoft kept this going, it needs a new generation of hardware. They've been competing directly with the Oculus and Meta's headsets. I mean, it's just not going to happen, is it? And so anyway, shame. There was one other thing on there. I saw on that list though. Legacy console mode is that the actual command line, the console, the command.exe, or is that something else?
Yeah, I was just reading that and I actually didn't know what it was. What is legacy console mode?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, you type CMD to bring it up. But is it? So I don't. Is it that's still going to be there? It's just using the legacy one, isn't it? You've got the options to use legacy console. So yeah, I think I'm going to get rid of the command prompts and maybe use terminal. Although I must admit I use terminal for most stuff now anyway. Yeah. But if you go to someone's machine and you have an issue, I want to just ping something. The first thing I do is CMD. It's out of habit. I bring it up there. But anyway, so and it's quite a handy page. This you can see all the things that are being removed out of Windows, deprecated. So there's another one, Cortana, another technology that Microsoft have killed. But never mind. It's just what happens, isn't it, when technology moves on, and we know Microsoft are not particularly do the consumer side of things at the moment. Things might go around again. You never know, but they certainly won't be doing mixed reality headsets anymore. It's a shame, isn't it? That especially the HoloLens. I think that really was the future, or could have been the future.
It could have been, should have been probably, but it's and I think if they'd actually got a consumer low price HoloLens out there, it would have been the future. It's not Microsoft's way. It's just not their
and getting people to switch models is not easy. I mean, Apple did it with the iPad, but that was kind of helped by the iPhone, I think, wasn't it, first? So it was an easy paradigm to understand. We've got used to hybrid devices now as well, but like I said, still the keyboard is just an easy keyboard and mouse. It's just such an easy thing to understand that coming up with new things is difficult. Right. Well, what else did I have for this week? Oh, I have got switch it onto music, some music technology stuff. I've got another sound set that I did. I don't know. I talked about this a few weeks ago, but this is I've put them all together on here now. So for anybody who remembers the classic Roland synths of the 80s, like the Jupiter 8 and the Juno 60 and the JX3P. The JX3P is the one I actually had with a controller and sold about 20 years ago. I don't know how much sold it for, probably about 400 quid, and it's probably worth about £2,000 now or something like that. But anyway, I have modelled these patches for the Modwave. So I did this by ear. So I used the Roland SoundCloud, which we talked about a few times recently. So I find I haven't got obviously a Jupiter 8 here, but I used the Roland's SoundCloud one and kind of created some sounds that were based on those. So I could look at how the sound was created on the Jupiter and then model that on the Modwave. Something like the JX3P I did from memory and using the software version as well, but also by memory. And some are just inspired by those sounds of that era as well. So I've got a video with those up now. So I've had a lot of downloads of that now. So if you've got a Korg Modwave, then head over to this page and just download all those. There's about 400 patches now you can install onto your synth now. So and I've got another collection coming soon. So I'm certainly getting my money's worth out of this synth now. It definitely, if you get one thing and learn it well, actually you get a lot out of it as opposed to sort of the scattergun effect of getting different things and not focusing. You definitely do that. So yeah, I'm gonna carry on with that. Although I think we should be having Dr. Jez on next week, the doctor with the incredible synth collection. So he's going to be on next week, and I'm hoping he's going to be able to get his mic'd up as well, so we can get it to work. I can get the Teams noise cancellation turned off, so that we can actually hear the synths. Because last time we talked, Teams was doing such a good job at cancelling the noise, doing the noise cancellations, that we couldn't actually hear anything he was playing. So.
Yeah, that was funny. That was.
Yeah. So so hopefully we can get around that next time. Actually, that's one thing I must say. This the Teams noise cancelling algorithm is absolutely brilliant.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah,
it really is. I wish I could get that and record my YouTube videos so I could.
Yes, exactly. And in fact, I wanted to do a quick video. It was a few weeks ago, and I was in the office, and I thought I'll do a quick video now about I can't remember what I was doing. I wanted to do a quick video. So rather than just do it directly in the video editing software, I recorded it as a team session with the noise cancelling on, and then transferred that into the video editing software afterwards, and it worked. The noise cancellation was better than just doing it directly, because it got rid of the background chatter. But I was actually on a call with someone, and we were sorting some server stuff out, and he was in the server room, with the fans going, and the air conditioning going and everything else, and he was shouting because obviously he couldn't hear himself because it's so loud in the server room. But I didn't realize he was in the server room, and I just said, "Why are you shouting?" He said, "Well, because of the noise." What noise? And to me, he could have been sat in his home office, in absolute silence. I couldn't hear the fans, the air conditioning, or anything. It was really weird how good it is. So yeah, and that's just in a few years. That's how that's improved. When I'm on calls.
I can say that actually is a really good example of a good use of machine learning, because it's basically learned what voices sound like and use that to actually cancel out the background. Same way as our ears do, actually, when we're in noisy backgrounds.
Yes, exactly. So I think that is a good example of it working. Yeah. So excuse me. Yeah. So that Teams works. The noise cancelling works really well on that. So I think it would be handy for YouTube for doing that, if you could have that in there. But like you said, that is a good example of something that's been done offline, isn't it? That processing, or not? It's doing online. Sorry. So it's not being I don't think the cancellation's been done on your machine, is it? It's been done.
No, it's been done.
Data center.
It is, with lots of crunch behind it. So
yeah, it is quite a good example of that. So. Anyway, so if you want to download any of these patches, they're on the site, and I've got quite a few thousand downloads of these now. So anybody wants to any more, if they've got a particular interest in any particular synth that they want me to try and recreate, I'll do that as well. But I have got another tutorial that I'm working on as well, so you can create your own on those. So. There's quite a few nice communities that you can sort of get involved in. And what I'm actually finding as well, I guess you're finding this on the YouTube channel, is I'm getting more since the fall off of engagement from Twitter, X, and I don't really go on Facebook, so I don't get any engagement on there, and these other communities that are kind of spread out everywhere now. YouTube has been the place where I get most of the interaction now.
Yeah.
And because it's a lot of it's sort of search based, I could post a video like 3 years ago, and somebody will just respond and say, "Oh, thanks for doing that video. You know, this helped me out," or "I've got that synth," or "I sold that synth 20 years ago. I wish I kept it." And you're having a full conversation, but it's a video that you did, like 3 years ago, as opposed to when you're doing a lot of the social media stuff like on Twitter or X. It's always very instant. It's what you're doing now, but I found on YouTube, it's a lot. I suppose long tail content, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem to be when I first started posting on YouTube, you seem to get some quite toxic comments and things on there, but it doesn't seem to quite so bad now. So whether that's people have got more mature on the platform and the toxic content is elsewhere, or the algorithms are better, I don't know. But
I don't know. Certainly I guess this may be AI as well, but the filtering on comments seems a lot better now. So the pre-filtering before, because as a creator you get the option to pre-filter comments before you actually put them on your site, and it does seem to definitely remove some of the more toxic ones and the spam type comments. But
so I'm it used to be the YouTube comments used to be the worst place for comments, but now I would say
now there's actually some reasonable ones.
Yeah, and you can get some sort of nice conversations in there. It's just it's not I don't think it's probably as real time as if you were perhaps doing TikTok videos or something like that. That's very much about the moment. I think the YouTube videos tend to be the long tail content, which is I'm quite happy with. I prefer that type of stuff rather than.
That's kind of what we do, isn't it? Like, it's all long tail content. So
yeah. I think I think that's it. Yeah, that's where we are, where we're comfortable. Was there anything else you wanted to add for this week's show?
Well, one thing it's not 100% working at the moment, but do you remember one of these?
Oh, what's that? Which one is that?
It's a Lynx 8.
Lynx 8, yes. Link 8, that's it. Yes. I think I've still got one somewhere.
Yeah, well, I had this one, and
I had the 7 one, didn't I?
Yeah, you had 7. So this is a slightly bigger version of it. Yeah. But yeah, I had this, and it wasn't working. I couldn't get it to work, and eventually realised it was actually the power supply which was causing the problem. It wasn't charging 100% properly. So it was never getting to the point where it could boot up. So sorted that out, got the power supply, booted it up, couldn't remember the password at all. I used on it way back. So I had to reset it, and I actually got the Lynx support stuff is to start, and it took me a while to work out actually how to do this. But if you want to reset the a Lynx device, what you have to do is press the power key and the volume up key at the same time for a few seconds, and then when it gets to the logo screen, immediately release them. If you don't immediately release them, you get into the UEFI settings. But if you do immediately release them, you then go into the Windows boot up mode, and you can then do your reset. And reset it back to the Windows and get it back up and running. So because I'd had this for ages, and then it'd been sitting around and not usable. But what I really want to do with it, and at the moment I'm actually struggling to get this to work, is to use it with my smart home stuff. Because I have on my phone, I have action tiles which I use to just sort of basically have a dashboard for the stuff I use in studio. So I'll see if I can get that up on here and just show that a second. So that's kind of my dashboard I have on camera for controlling my home. Some of the cameras outside and buttons for temperature and stuff like that on there. And I wanted to try and use the same thing on here, but it's fine to a point. But it loads up to that point where it gets the thing. But as soon as I actually go in one of the screens, it seems to lock up and crash. So it displays it for a few seconds and then says, I'm having a problem. So I haven't quite worked that one out yet. I'm probably doing something wrong, or I've got the wrong version of Edge, or need to update it.
An Edge version,
Probably need to run some system updates on it, because it's probably the reset's probably quite well. But no, it did do a lot of updates when it actually finally loaded up. So yeah, we'll see. But definitely interesting to actually go back to using the touch control on it.
Oh yeah, it was a great little device. I had the Link 7, which that was the smaller one, the smaller tablet. They are nice little devices. I think I've got it down here somewhere, but I still quite like those form factors. So, as you know, I use the Surface Go.
Yeah, this is going to be this is perfect for mounting. I think I'll only end up wall mounting it. I mean, at the moment it's on a quite nice case with a keyboard on it, which is quite interesting. USB-based keyboard, not a Blu-ray one. Blu-ray taste one. Blu-ray keyboard would be good. But yeah, it's it was used to work really well. You never did anything power intensive on it, but for browsing, it was always pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that. And the other one was that Toshiba one I've still got as well. That was a 7-inch, or was it 8-inch? 8-inch Windows tablet.
I've got one of them somewhere around as well.
It's just a shame you can't get them anymore. I mean, I think the Surface Go is probably the smallest one you can get, isn't it, in terms of Windows tablets? There aren't any. In fact, didn't Microsoft? They went through a thing, didn't they, where if you had below 8-inch, you didn't pay for a license as an OEM or something like that. While those devices are still, I still got those here somewhere. It's just. Oh, there's Oh, that's an iPad. I've got that Toshiba one. Oh, there it is. There's the old Toshiba one.
Yeah, I've got one of them sitting around somewhere. Whether I can find it in here, I'm not sure. But
I might power this one up for next week's show.
Yeah, I kind of like the format factor for Smart Home Control. I think it would be good if I can get it working. I'll just try and run some updates on it and see if it'll actually work once we've got the updates. But
it's the quite nice sizes to run Windows. I think that's, and it's got the Windows button at the bottom. I think if I remember rightly, this doesn't work though. There was a reason. Just put it on charge. There was a reason why why I don't have it. I don't use it anymore. But yeah, I kind of miss those. But I don't think the iPad Mini sells in the same. I think the iPad outsells the iPad Mini, doesn't it? Still, so I don't think those form factors really took off. But I suppose when you got your, if I combine that with my phone, it's almost the same size. It is the same size, So they are the same size. So I kind of just transferred it over from that one to that one.
The form factor which never took off, which I always thought should have taken off, is the scroll form factor. The idea. So I did see a prototype of this many years ago. It was basically two rolls which you pulled out to whatever size you wanted to go at. So you could have it down sort of like phone portrait size, or if you want landscape, you just pulled it out and went widescreen effectively, and you could have a full panorama screen if you're watching your movies, and then back down to a little size for. And that meant you could carry it easily in your pocket and just put it out when you needed it. And I always thought that was a form factor which could have done really well.
I remember you telling me about that. I think that was like 2010 or something, wasn't it? That
no, it was. I mean, I think I probably told you about it then, but it was even earlier than that. I saw it. That was early 2000s. I actually saw it. But yeah, I mean, that was interesting. I guess where we're going now, and we're starting to see it is the AR glasses are starting to get screens which are really good, and it actually kind of makes more sense to have glasses which are your phone, as long as you've got some input mechanism for them. And I saw an interesting combination the other day of a watch being used as the touch controller for a large screen in front of your eyes on an AR glasses, and that actually worked really, really well. So potentially that's the way of the future. we'll see. If we don't get my laser projectors, which I sort of saw as well a few years back, don't seem to have gone any further, where they actually project directly into your eyes from any direction. Use an eye tracker, little cube on your desk to give you a large screen in front of you without actually having to wear anything.
That would be interesting. Yeah, that's. I'm still not sure about having lasers pointed directly to my eyes, but yeah. I think the glasses thing. I think maybe that's the next thing for sort of AR VR is they get them into a convenient set of glasses like this, and then they're getting somewhere. They're not. And you're using your hands as the input.
There's a few out there at the moment. Is it X-Real? I think that's the X-Real Air 2. I've seen a few people reviewing those. They actually look like reasonably real glasses. Sure, I think I'll find it. But they're not actually too far off a standard glass, and you can have your own lenses in them as well. Pricey, but they look quite cool. Let me just show you that link. Oh, okay. I can't send you messages because I'm not a member of the chat. That's interesting. That's a new team. Anyway, if you look at the xreal.com, you can have a there's a lot of interesting stuff out there.
Yeah, well, that's something to look out for in the new year. I think we'll have a look at that.
Yeah, because the screens on those are very good resolution anyway. So I think there's some definite potential on those. Yeah,
I think perhaps we might see a bit screen technology type stuff at CS. That's probably another area that's going to be quite big there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, well, I think that's everything we've got for this week. So I'm now going to go and try and get this to work. I seem to remember it doesn't work, and I've tried a lot of things to get it to work, and there was a reason why I couldn't. Yeah. So I think it was something of it was dead. I remember. But right, so we'll be back same time, same place next week. Where can we find you?
You can find me at Garry WMA on all the socials, including X at the moment. Until it self-destructs. Yeah,
I'm still on there for now. But yeah, you can find me on all these channels and also on YouTube as well. So you can leave comments on there as well. So hopefully we'll be back with our Music Tech 1, Retro Music Tech 1 next week. But stay tuned on here and we'll see you next week.
Take care.